Dear traveller and welcome. Today we're going for a walk. My photography has changed a lot recently and I've been wanting to chat about my experience with it. So this hike took place in Victoria, Australia when we weren't in a lockdown. It's at the break of dawn and if you look closely you'll see a native Australian kangaroo. So anyway, back to photography. If you've been following me for a while, you may have noticed that I was shooting a lot of film there for a while. And it really was a game changer for me. Film taught me so much, and I'll always see film as the best medium for photography. But now I've gone back to digital. To me this has been a very insightful experience. So let me tell you all about it. Why did I start to shoot film? I must say at first I never wanted to shoot film. However, I would watch endless YouTube videos about shooting film. That's weird, right? In my defense, videos about film photography are very relaxing and have great background music and generally have a nostalgic vibe to it. This I enjoyed. But I noticed that there was this purist-like mentality to film photography. Some film photographers look down on digital photographers as not being real photographers. If it wasn't a fully mechanical camera with a manual lens sporting a roll of film, then it wasn't really photography. So I was put off. I reasoned that I could recreate an analog film experience with a digital camera. So I got a Canon 5D Classic, I put it in full manual mode, put on an old lens, and tried not to look at the back screen. And there you have it, a digital film camera. But after watching so many videos about film photography, I ended up picking up a cheap Pentax Spotmatic with some radioactive glass. I went to a film shop for the first time and bought a roll of Portra 400. Even just holding the film in my hand was awesome. The little cardboard box with the Kodak written on the side. I got stung by the film bug and I wasn't looking back. You pop open the back of the camera and load the film into a fully metal camera, which elicits the most exquisite mechanical sounds you've ever heard. Raising the camera and pressing it to your eye, you feel a stillness. As you peer through a piece of glass that predates your own existence, time ceases to hold any bearing. Your breath restricts, you carefully pull focus. Once all the moons have aligned, it's time to confidently release the shutter of chaos to capture one definitive moment in your life. And to this, the camera rewards you with one last sound. So why film? What got me over the line on film was this. I use my camera to capture family photos. To me it's the most important subject and the only thing I need to capture. No photo brings me more joy than a photo of my family. Having a piece of celluloid that has captured the actual light that was bouncing off my family and has imprinted the image, not in ones and zeros, but in a physical medium that exists in the same reality, is priceless. That's what got me over the line on film. Once I started with film, I noticed many other benefits to shooting on it. It does make you slow down and consider your shots. It also teaches you to take one shot and get it right. That's something that I didn't do on digital. Also, it makes you realise the value of a photo. Or maybe another way of expressing it is, it makes you realise the expense of a photo. Every time you pull that shutter, that's another 83 cents. And if you're shooting 6x9 on Cinestill 800T, that's $5 a shot. So very quickly you discover what's worth shooting and what's not. This in itself is an interesting realization because now you can look at your photos and see what is valuable to you as a shooter simply by reviewing your film photos. Don't get me wrong, I've got some great family shots on film, but I feel they're more staged and thought out portraits. It just doesn't have that spontaneous capture of a family memory. I noticed that all my film photos were very safe. I didn't want to risk taking a bad shot, even though I still did. But I didn't experiment much or try different compositions. Now, if buying film and developing it was cheaper, then this wouldn't be a problem for me. And developing myself isn't an option at the moment. So I decided to get a small digital point and shoot. I'm pretty sure you guys know which one I'm talking about. Instantly, I noticed a difference. I'm taking my camera everywhere and shooting every family moment. Now, this video isn't about not using film, but rather that digital photography has a very important role to play and shouldn't be discounted. I will always shoot film, but you can bet I'll be carrying my point and shoot digitals with me everywhere I go. Well, now it's over to you guys. What do you think? What's your experience with different mediums and how has your photography grown or changed? I'm very curious to hear about it. Also guys, I've got some new old digital cams that I'm working with, so expect to see some more camera reviews coming soon. And as always, catch you on the next one.